Welcome to another episode of Jamaican State of Mind Podcast. And today we have a special episode for you people. We have a special guest here with me. And before I introduce him, I just want to do a little backstory. I remember when I start getting into podcasts, right? And listen different type of podcasts. And I said, let me get into some Jamaican podcasts. I'm start search like Caribbean podcasts and Apple, iTunes, and see this thing come up, say, Reggae Lover Podcast. And I said, what's this? So I start listening to it. But I just pure mix, like just music. And, so I just put in my local vibes. So every time come out with a mix. I don't remember the day it used to come out, but I used to just, drive a lot for work, travel a lot. So I just used to just listen to the mix and things. So me start getting a podcast now and look him up on, see the name up on the Instagram. I will link up, just a listen. And I think me did send a message that, yo, I like the link, I like the mix and thing. And then I remember one day randomly I listened to an episode and I just hear a bunch of talking. So I said, oh God. But, me just listening and I'm come back the next week and I think I was, maybe I'll look at one episode I talk, do like an introduction about some stuff. This is the next episode I talking again. I say, okay, I'm going to change the platform and I'm glad me to stick around and start listening to it because it came with some good information about a different perspective on reggae music and highlight some good things. So with that said, let me introduce Mr. Kahlil Wonda from the big sound Highlanda.
Yeah, man, Highlanda Sound.
Highlanda Sound, and one of the hosts of the Reggae Lover Podcast. Welcome, sir.
Yo, greetings.
All right,
thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, man,
I'm honored to be on Jamaican State of Mind, man. Big up to all the listeners.
I appreciate that, man. I appreciate you a lot too, cause you're kind of my go-to person when I want to get little ideas and little knowledge on the podcast game, because you've been doing it a long time. So, so appreciate that. And it's a pleasure to have you on here as well. And thanks for having me twice on your podcast as well. Get to understand your vibes over there. So,
yeah, man, give thanks,
So give the people them a little background about you, man, who you are, when you get in the podcast game, a little bit about your sound system and all of that.
Yeah, man. Well, I'm Kahlil Wonda, as stated, from Highlanda Sound, and started out in entertainment and music, doing promoting and starting a sound system. Myself, my brother, and my cousin, we founded Highlanda Sound in Atlanta in 1998. And so we spent like a couple of years, really like, I would say like 1 year, kind of building the sound and putting in like paying our dues. And then literally like by the second year, we kind of blew up. So from like year second all the way through like year 7, year 8, that was a journey that included the years that we were in college. And after that, that included when we didn't have no other job, at least I didn't have no other work other than playing sound in Atlanta and touring and stuff like that. To be one of the most booked, most busiest, that's when before really the internet, So one bag of flyers, and most of the flyers, you look and you see Highlanda on them. So that was like, a good 7-8 years right there. I took a little break once I started working a regular 9-to-5 and moved to New York, with that job for a couple of years, and I kind of eased up off of the sound thing. And then I came back to Atlanta in 2009 and kind of, started doing some events here and there gradually, for a couple of years. And at that time is when I started to do my first podcast, which was just mixes, and I would do like a 30-minute mix every week, and it was called Reggae Vault Classics. And that was something that I just, started the website that I had at the time and put it out there, and got a phone call from Rico Vibes, who was getting ready to start the flavorradio.com. He had just come down from New York, and he was like, yo, Kahlil, been listening to you guys online for years and stuff like that. Love what you're doing with the podcast. Come true. So ended up that I started another podcast around that time as well, which was for new music, and that was called Dancehall Now. So I was doing 2 mixes at that point, and getting into starting to use Facebook and Twitter and stuff like that to really push the brand online. Already had a big email list from the years before promoting, so that was kind of the presence, I was doing some bookings throughout that time, and then started doing the Flavor Radio as 2 3-hour-long radio shows every week, Reggae Vault Classics and Dancehall Now. So which started as podcast, turned into internet radio show, but then we would record the shows and turn that into a podcast and put that back out. So still doing podcasts all that time, and then gradually started playing out less and less and kind of focusing on the media more and more, with the exception of events that I would curate myself, like the Bob Marley tribute and Rubber Dub ATL and Rocksteady ATL. I kind of preferred the oldies and the foundation. So the Reggae Vault Classics was really my favorite. The Dancehall Now is kind of do it just to kind of keep up. And so the type of parties that I threw was more like the classic stuff, you know what I'm saying? And then at a certain point now, after about 5 years, I decided that, the live internet radio show at rush hour in Atlanta every day, it just mad me, it kind of mash up my whole schedule with the family and one bag of things. So I was also looking at the fact that I couldn't really control to where I could see who was listening from where and count, all the level of analytics and stats that I wanted to kind of have, whereas podcasting presented that. So, decided to transition from the station, and I started another podcast called, it was called The Music Box with Kahlil Wonda. I don't know if you know about this stuff.
No, Wonda, yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah. And that one was a mix of talk, and, I would do a little mix. It had all these segments in there. Would, do some interviews, and I had curated some interviews from some other bloggers and stuff that was on that podcast.
So I've been doing it.
Yeah, I've been literally doing it since 2009.
Wow.
So way before the whole hype of podcasting that exists now.
Wow.
And so I stopped doing the Music Vault with Kahlil Wonda, and in 2014 I started Reggae Lover. And what I did is I took some of the original mixes from Reggae Vault Classics, and I used those to start out with.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, I started to do a unique mix every Monday and put it out. And some of them would be up to a little bit more than an hour long, just going in because, we have the music and the catalog is here. And it's a little different than, I'm older, I have children now.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a little bit more it's different than being in the club and entertaining people. But I was feeling like I was entertaining people all over the world through the podcast.
Yeah.
And you can still hear the mixes and still know the sound. But it's just that I'm not in the Smoky Club losing my sleep and Ray.
Yeah. One of my favorite mixes I did was with Tony Curtis.
Oh, yeah?
Because growing up, I love Tony Curtis, but it's he kind of just fell off my radar. And then when I listened to that mix, it just brought me back. So I started looking for Tony Curtis music to put on my playlist. Because, I knew it's an artist that I loved growing up. And it's I wasn't even thinking about him. As an adult. And then, I heard that mix. And it just brought me back to all the Tony Curtis vibes and music. And then, I end up just start adding back to my playlist. So,
yeah.
I love the vibe. I love your mix, your vibes and everything. You bring it back to old school. And it's something may talk offline a couple of times where you know what I mean? I grew up in a dancehall house. You know what I mean? Like my uncle used to own a song called Labens in Duane Park. Now Ricky Villa, R.I.P. rest in peace. Like Ricky Villa, you have Spraga Benz come from there, so Benzi Hype, you know what I mean? Similar year where Shaman them and they come from, Baby Sham and all of that. So mixing music, rhythm and them thing there, that's what I grew up around. So I kind of so your type of mix kind of gravitate to that cause some people that say me have the old spirit. Because I can't really get too much in them. The new music, I would like even a guy club, man, them play the song like for 5 seconds and them mix. You know what I mean? So you can't really enjoy it, you know what I mean? So your type of mixing kind of brought back to, whoa, it's supposed to be.
Yeah, that's the cool thing, again, because the way, I'll go in the studio and there's no pressure to like rush and them thing there. At the same time, I didn't, it wasn't boring because I still have a tempo, like a timing that I use to make sure that you don't fall asleep listening to my mix. You know what I mean? It's still like one song after the next, but let the chorus come in and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If it's a great second verse, then I'm gonna let that second verse play. If it's a great third verse, I know the music. I might let that third verse play.
Yeah.
But, if it's just a regular tune, then boom, drop it, one verse and cut.
Yeah. That's the way it's supposed to be. And
yeah, man.
So when you decide to get fully now into from mixing to just you and Agar doing the full, conversation like podcast.
Okay, so Agar, is my cousin. He was one of the founders of the sound, and he had moved away like somewhere along in the early years. And, but, we would always kind of like meet up, whether on the phone or whatnot, and just have, just discuss about the music. He would always listen to the mixes and give me feedback and everything like that. But at the same time, he's kind of plugged into, a lot of what's going on in the media space, from podcasting to Sirius XM and Spotify and, like what's going on BBC and, So he's like the idea guy, you know what I'm saying? So he would always like spit all these ideas and I would always be like, but, But what happened is, we had amassed 125 of those mixes. And I was like, well, this is going to be a way that we can challenge ourselves and, do something different. I had gotten feedback from some listeners before and some of my brethren them that was like, yo, I would always do the mix and then talk at the end for a few minutes. Yeah. Say, this is what you just heard and this is why and boom, bam, bam. And I had got good feedback about that part. Like, yo, you should talk more. And I was like, nah, I don't like the way my voice sound. People don't want to hear me. So it was a big deal, like actually flipping that switch.
Nobody like how their voice sound.
Yeah, man. I mean, you get used to it. I think that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I think I've gotten used to mine after this year, 2019. So, we normally have a break around December, like when we're recording this show. And come back in January with new episodes. So we did in 2019 and came back with just discussing the music. Same concept in that we talking about the same artists. We talking about what's going on. Some of the shows we're educating, we're going into history. You know what I'm saying? Some of the shows we're talking current events. But it's not hype. Some of the shows we have interviews, but it's not about the interviews. It's not about the guests. It's more about my cousin and I, as it's like your Jamaican state of mind. It's like the selector state of mind concerning reggae and selectors from back then when we used to play vinyl and we come up through the digital transition. So, we've been living in different countries and different cities and playing music. And now it's like, this is perspectives from us.
Good. Yeah, that's good, man. And like I said, I put you guys in my notification list and all of that. So, and every time I'm on road, they already know that I listen to you guys religiously. You know what I mean? Because a lot of stuff that I may not know or I may not think I'm interested in, then I listen to you guys. Oh, okay, I learned something new especially about war clash stuff like that. Cause I know you guys love that. Which, I don't really pay a lot of attention. When I was younger, in high school, I used to pay a lot of attention to war clash and all of that. But the older I get, those stuff kind of get on the back burn out. So, so I gonna listen to you and you guys talk about, stuff like that, like the different reggae pockets throughout the world and even in America, like every country. I didn't know that. I learned stuff like that from listening to you guys. I get what I'm, so
that's good, man. That's definitely the purpose of why we do it, because I feel like, and you have a great, like you just explained your relationship with dancehall and reggae. It's real personal. You're from Jamaica. You're from, which part Spraga and Sham and all of them come from. But you have a lot of people that, man, they grew up, just people like them around, Indian or, Asian, Japanese or Russian or wherever them there.
Yeah.
And somehow they come across reggae. They catch a whiff of it like, what's that? Like I read, I was reading this lady's blog, I just found on a Google search from a few years ago, and she was talking about how Bob Marley and reggae music saved her life because she was going through a time of grief. She had lost a family member, a loved one, and she was depressed. And she went to grief counseling. She went to counseling. She's doing all of them things, and nothing got through to her. She was in a dark, dark place. And one day she heard Gregory Isaac's Night Nurse. And she was like, oh, well, this isn't Bob Marley, but this is nice. It was relaxing, and it kind of like, it was the only thing that picked her spirits up. Like after like these years of depression that she was going through, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like people all over the world have that experience, and hopefully, if and when they discover the podcast, it'll help. It's like support. It's like, it's like group therapy. Like, there's people all over the world like you that love this music, and we're just going to talk about the things that kind of give us these boosts in life, or give us these emotional experiences, or let us handle, the stuff that we all have to go through stuff.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty of reggae music. It don't matter where you come from, what language, it's something there that everybody can talk to and relate to.
And you're 100% right. And I can't even talk on a personal level where, one thing with me, like, when I work, I meet people, I work with people every day, like different people, different background, different culture, different religion, different race, from wherever in the world. We do a job with people from, across the world. And one of the things with me is that, as I can see, I still have my strong Jamaican accent, right? It doesn't matter where that person is from. Once I introduce myself and they hear it, the first thing they say, where you from? Jamaica? And I say, yeah, that's 20 minutes about Jamaica, either about Bob Marley, something. That's where it goes from.
Yeah.
I remember I worked with this guy who don't speak no form of English. I think he was from Honduras or something. Like, no English. It was a struggle dealing with this guy. But he knew I was from Jamaica. This guy had this big vinyl record, a Bob Marley album.
Mm-hmm.
And he just put it on his record player and start playing it. Yeah, and the only thing I know he was saying, Bob Marley, right? Yeah. Jamaica. That's all. And he was just so excited and happy. And like, when I see stuff like that, I just appreciate our music more, because then I deal with people every day, and it's just that see people who don't even speak the language, but for somehow they found Bob Marley, Gregory Isaac, Peter Tosh, these Dennis Brown, You know what I mean? They people come into me with some name that I have to look up real quick to see who is that. You get what I say? You don't know this person?
Yeah, man.
And I'm like, no, but so you know what I mean? I love the fact that you guys highlight them, those part of the reggae music, not just say the eye part of it and what's hot now, but the backstory of some of the stuff them where, you know what I mean, like myself. You know what I mean? Although I grew up in Jamaica, but I didn't pay attention to some of those detailed stuff, the backstory of a lot of stuff. So, so when you guys highlight it and in the show, really, I really appreciate it. Introduced me to a couple of artists, cause Lila Ike, I wasn't following her, you know what I mean?
Okay.
And then after you guys did the interview with her and I listened to her talk and, you know what I mean, she hit on enough stuff. So maybe something I want to even take away, have even conversation on my podcast, like, her relationship with her mom and where I get some of her inspiration from. That's when I went on iTunes and I look up, who is this girl? And I just start listening to her song. I remember I think I did message her that day and say, yo, you introduced me to somebody, a new artist or something like that. I didn't know. You know what I mean? So, and I know I'm maybe not the only person who heard that interview and did exactly the same thing that I did. Look up who is that person. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, you don't know how, like, fulfilling and satisfying that is,
Yeah.
because it was a little bit nervous because, for the last 20 years, what Kahlil does is select and mix, In the original days of Highlanda, I didn't even talk on the microphone, I had the mic man talking on the mic, and nobody, I didn't really have like a voice outside of the way I select and play the tunes. So coming into last season of Reggae Lover, it was like, yo, I believed in my mind that I could still do the same thing that I could do with the mixing, but even better. And, that's that validation right there, because same way I could pull out and do a Lila Ike mix, I could bring her and talk to her.
Yep.
And the end result is the same. People are like, oh, she's cool. Let me go buy her music. Exactly. That's the goal.
Yeah. So that's good, man. So, I mean, keep doing there. So it only can get better. And like I say, it's a small community of us, and we just have to continue push, tell our own story from our point of view and our perspective. And it only can get better. Definitely.
Gotta keep telling our stories, documenting the events and the successes and the highlights. That I always love to just talk about the positive and the good, because I feel like the negative stuff automatically gonna be everywhere, especially with the internet and social media. Yeah. Everybody sharing the fight between the two, always two black people, that's just get reposted and stuff. If it's a diss song, everybody talking about it. You know what I'm saying? Anything controversial, Lizzo at the Lakers game. That them I talk about.
Yeah, she need to chill though.
Yeah, but she might have good music. She may have done like lots of positive things, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So but that's... like certain people that don't even know her, that never check for her, they're talking bad about her right now because of that, So what about somebody highlighting, you know what I'm saying? I'm
positive.
Just
you're right. I mean, I don't know if you listen to the last episode we did when we talk about like the outrage culture. Outrage and cancel culture, and it's like stuff like that. A point of view, like we easily get outraged about the weirdest stuff. Where to me it's too much energy, but the stuff that we need to highlight and fight for, that makes more sense, that gonna affect your life more on a personal note, we just ignore it. But if something, like I said, Lizzo, everybody I talk about it, but but I guess if she did put some money to build a school or something, I don't know, but that would get less traction than, what I mean? So it unfortunate, that's just the world we're living in, or just by the Facebook, Instagram, Twitter design algorithm. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because the more you make people outrage, the more money they make, the more click they get, the more, cause clicks and clickbait and them stuff that was run the culture nowadays. So you will see a headline with the most outrageous headline, like, whatever it is, and then when you read the article, it's not nothing to do with the the headline, but the more they get you, you went to the article, and there's nothing up, the headline don't even correspond to what the article is about. But that's the type of world we're living in right now,
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Trust me. But, I've come a long way in that, whereas, I had a period where I was just like, man, forget social media, it's evil and wickedness and, you know what I'm saying? Like right now, I kind of look at it like it's a really good thing because at the end of the day, you can't really bad talk the internet and the people on social media. You understand? Like, it's really the people that are behind the keyboard that really, you know what I'm saying, might be wicked. You know what I'm saying? So you have an opportunity to use a platform and reach people and influence people. It's like, what are you going to do with it? And then you have an opportunity to be influenced as well. What are you going to do with it? You can create a timeline that's just all positive inspiration. To every time you log on, you get a boost in your day. You know what I'm saying? It helps you to fuel you to do what you need to do and keep your spirits high.
Yeah, you're right. You have to filter the stuff. Like, I always say, you have more negativity than positivity in life general. So if you're going to start your podcast and you ask for opinion, you're going to get more negative, than somebody say, yeah, man, you can do it. I think it's a good idea. You're going to get more, boy, it's not going to work type of, you get what I'm saying? That's just worse. So you have to know to filter, to filter those stuff. And even with me, I work on myself to kind of care less about irrelevant stuff. I mean, like one time I will get worked up over any little thing that, and I work hard not to. Same with I treat social media the same way. Like I pass something and I maybe read it and I say, okay, but I move on to it. I'm not going to let that read or watch something that's going to ruin my mood. You know what I mean? And I think you said something on one episode, you're saying you have to protect your energy or your meds, like same with music. You know what I mean? You have to filter those stuff. So you can have, positive vibe, positive energy. Okay, if you listen too much of the negative energy, somewhere, somehow, you know what I mean, it's gonna seep in and kind of affect you, mentally.
Yeah.
Your mood, affect your mood.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
It's so real, man, and people don't know, like, those things, it really affects you at a cellular level. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you say, like, hate and you say ugly words or somebody says them to you, immediately your brain starts to secrete like stress hormones into your bloodstream. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to do it just happens like that without you thinking about it. You might think that everything is all good, but no, like, stuff is going on inside you that if you exposed to that long enough, you'll start to get sick. Your immune system will break down. Yeah. Real talk.
Yep. You have to just know to control it, filter it, and get it out. But the next thing I want to talk to you about, me talk about this all the time, the state of like dancehall music, reggae music, from cultural to the dancehall, street vibes, all of that, to what it is now, to what it was. You know what I mean? Is a back and forth thing for me, because in a sense I understand, change gonna happen, right? Music gonna evolve, But when it comes to dancehall, my big thing, like I said this to you already, is that the identity, we lose that identity of what dancehall is. And I don't know if you posted, or I think you posted it, where it said in I don't remember the guy name said that where like I think in UK radio now them at Afrobeats and I think reggaeton has taken over reggae dancehall spot right now. And it's something that I see. And like I saw that I already know that something like that was gonna happen because even for me, my playlists keep changing. You know what I mean? In my playlist I have way more Afrobeats.
Oh, for real?
Dancehall. You get what I'm saying?
I never know. I never know that's what it gone to.
But that's what I'm saying. And me, I'm a love reggae. And then even the reggae that I listen to, is the older reggae. You're talking, I'm going back beyond 2012. I really like some recent stuff, but I can't select I can't even name majority of the artists nowadays. I can't listen to it. Then even the few stuff that I listened to within the last 3 years, them already died out to me. The only person I've not disappointed me thus far is Assassin, Agent Sasco, which people say I'm biased on him because I'm an artist, so I might be biased. But he's not the only one that's not feel me so far. But my playlists change. You know what I mean? I have more reggae, I listen reggaeton music and I don't even speak Spanish. But it give me a vibes, it make me miss that old reggae that let me want to move, dance. You know what I mean? I'm not a dancer, but I like reggae when you want to, me I drive, you feel good, it make me feel good. Even I'm also listen to it, it make me feel good like I want to dance. The dancehall are coming right now, it doesn't give me that. You know what I mean? They want to give it this feel good mellow vibes. All the rhythm them sound the same. We can't tell who is who. Everybody sound the same. You get what I'm saying? So I cannot get with it. You know what I mean? And I know Sean from, Mr. Reggae Music Forever. Me and me I go back and forth in the DM with this, and you must say me have to get to the new one.
Same here.
In terms of me, I have the same, the same opinion on it. But I'm like, I know it changed, but when I see this article came out, it proved my point. Where if you lose your identity, you're gonna have a replacement. Because if the reggae music nowadays sound like hip hop, and you have hip hop, why would I want to listen to a carbon copy of hip hop? When I growing up, it was the other way around. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's my big thing on it. I'm not going on a little rant right there, but yeah, it just irks me when the music nowadays, and people don't want to accept like mash up the music.
Yeah, I feel your pain, brother. Yeah. But here we go on. Dancehall, I think dancehall is okay, Like it's not going anywhere. I think it's a good thing that Afrobeat has risen to commercial success, and what they've done is they've utilized a 90s dancehall sound and formula in their music. You mentioned reggaeton. Reggaeton is based on 80s and 90s dancehall. It's literally based on the dembow rhythm, from Shabba, which Spraga did them flap, and then them pick up the every single one of the songs have that in there. If it doesn't have it in there, it's no longer reggaeton. Literally, it's a different something if it don't have that beat. So that's to show you how the dancehall that you're talking about, your favorites, from the 2000s and the 90s, that was an extension of 80s dancehall, which was sound system driven. So if you say you was an artist in the 80s, you had to go on sound system, and the man then put on a rhythm, and you had to be able to DJ, and you sit on like a lizard on a limb, and you ride the rhythm. You understand?
Exactly.
And the selector mix you down, and you step on top of the rhythm.
Yep.
You understand? But nowadays, okay, there's a song I heard today on one of the new rhythms where it was a collaboration with one of the members of the Six, with Sean Paul.
Mm-hmm.
So Six Boss, or I don't remember which one, so don't quote me on that.
Squash.
Whoever, they spit their rhymes first. Then Sean Paul came on. And you see when Sean Paul come in, brethren,
Different.
even though the rhythm didn't have the bass line that you would want, just the way that he was flowing on it was like, yes, that's it right there. That, the way he was flowing make you want party. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because it had that dancehall vibe. So a lot of the young artists now, they're more like rapping. And that's cool, but that's not what we do. That's not what we did in dancehall. You understand? So that's like the little disconnect right there. And I think the disconnect is that a lot of the music now is disconnected from sound system. It's disconnected from selector, you know what I mean? Like from sound system culture. And it used to be back in the day that sound man was the ones that played the hot music first, bust tune, make people know what's going on and what's what. But now it's like the internet and YouTube and, certain radio man and a sound man are playing music and I, take money for playing music. And so that those kind of things kind of have affected it. And I think that it's gonna
fix itself.
I think it's gonna readjust.
Readjust. Okay.
Yeah, I think there's a readjustment coming.
I hope,
like the stock market,
Yeah.
It's
hope
it goes
does.
down, it's gonna come back up.
Well, I hope it does, because you know what I mean. I hate to see where it's going, and I think
look on the buju, the Dave Kelly, the buju.
Oh, that the new buju that came
Yes,
out. Yeah.
yes. Come on, bro.
Yeah.
You telling me if buju depend them something there? Yeah, tell me some man now gonna start follow them something there.
Well, I hope so. That's
on,
my
man.
hope. That's why my hope. And it's like when they bring up, like I said, I grew up around sound system. When we were doing it for Brook Valley, Sherlock, and them places there, and exactly where I used to go. The sound system I play, one bag of artists come through. Then in the late night, the artists turn for play, and you know what was the go-to rhythm? Superstar. Every man asks for superstar. Brum, dum, 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 dum.
Yeah. So you're talking like 2099 to 2001.
Yeah.
But if you go 97, 98, it was Showtime.
Yeah, Showtime was before Superstar.
And then in the middle, you have Brookout for a little
while. But
But
run them time there, run my time, Superstar was the go-to, and no matter which song, which artist, and everybody could have managed the rhythm. Nowadays, when all of them money, everybody have them own rhythm. No, not even rhythm. Everybody have them own little beat with them song. There's no rhythm structure anymore, which is part of the culture, and so that take away from the identity. So there's no. I know, and I remember listening to certain artists and them say it was a competition where a new rhythm come out, everybody want to get on it, everybody want to be the artist sang on that rhythm.
Yes.
So it used to bring out the best out of everybody. Because if a rhythm that come out and then me hear the killer on it, the Bounty Killer on it, and I say, Jano, Bounty Killer, I go hard pan one. So I have to come better, I try to be as good as our killer sound on it. And everybody try to compete. But now when everybody have them own rhythm or them own beat, there's no competition. You get what I'm saying?
Definitely. They create them own. Yo, he said it in the song, me own a lane, I'm
telling you, man. I hope it comes back.
Yeah, man. And then, the next thing now, there's no grooming for the young artists.
Yeah.
So when them touch a stage now, for a lot of them, it's deplorable what they're doing on the stage. It's like, come on, man. You got to be kidding me, man. Like, dancehall used to be regalia. Yo, you have on outfit. You know what I mean? Y'all get clothes made with special clothes for go up on the stage because you perform.
Yeah.
You understand? Routines and acting and freestyling and one bag of, animation and thing to make sure that the crowd feels your energy. That's been a part of the culture from, the 70s, the 60s, from the very start. And now it's like, I'm going to come out with my same jeans and sag my thing and my butt out and I'm out of breath and can't deliver more than 15 seconds of a tune and cut.
That's why when people say, ask me why I'm love Sasko, right? I'm a big fan of Sasko because I remember when Assassin started and him cousin used to be him DJ and like when the man them used to do stage, the same thing. He used to do cut short. He never sing out him song them. And you know what I mean? And him and Sasko is a man will take feedback. You get what I'm saying? If you do run him circle and whatever, I mean, he say, oh, he perform, I mean, he take the feedback. And I see developing Assassin where he went back and like go on the drawing board and practice and in performance base. So when Sasko, if you pay if you go see them man they do a show, me always feel like me get my money's worth. You get what I'm saying? Now enough of them man, I see them come and through them have the IP song. Them say the first two word, pull up. Dash with that. And then
the man they are the big man, brethren. You can't chat to them man,
then
brother.
Cannot, and then you know what I mean. I've been in circles.
The man they have 100 man in the entourage, brethren.
I've been in circles and see
get close to them man. There. You can't talk to them man there directly.
But no, I've been in circle and see them thing there for myself where you cannot say anything. And then me there on man already. I'm not call name. I'm say man have horrible performance, and we there. And the man them they run him. I said, yeah man, back to I mean like but you know
because you know why? Because I them want Papa Hennessy and them want some herbs for crush out. You understand? So them I have to make sure so the big man feel good about the show.
Yeah, I mean I say you know hype up your bridging. But if me and your bridging, me suppose can tell you say, yo, you know, you do that thing, but next time I think, you know what I mean? I'm supposed to give you some form of constructive criticism to make it to improve a thing. But if you have man when it does, I say yes, and you know for sure so that wasn't a good performance, Bridget. Then you're doing for fear because you're going to have a bunch of yes man around you. Nobody now tell you the truth.
Yeah. And I'm going to tell you another way that it, you know, has affected the business now. Okay, you say you learn some things when we go down this lane. But you see, when it comes to sound clash, you cannot, you know, sound clash mean you're cutting dub plates. Some of these artists can't do a dub plate upon a different rhythm other than the rhythm that their song is on, like you were saying. So now you clashing and you have to go to war with these little soft rhythm with no bass, and you know, it just kind of kills the vibes out of the thing, brethren. So that's actually gone into sound clash business, and you know that's been one of the things that has affected. And what it does is it prevents new music from being played in clashes as much as it used to. Back in the day when Bounty was putting out new tune and Beanie was putting out new tune like Rice and them man they are war. You see the rhythm them that their songs were on. Yo, it was a race. It was an arms race. Yo, I need to get this new tune, get the whole rhythm, take the rhythm that their tune is on and voice a next set of tune upon it and a whole juggling a tune. I forgot upon that same brand new rhythm. You can't do that with any of the new rhythms. So it's like you go to a clash now and you're hearing sling ting. You're hearing, you know what I'm saying? You're hearing old rhythms with new tune upon it. So it's stopping the advancement of the music in a kind of way. You understand? And then so when young people come into the party now, they're like, what's this old music? What's this about? You know what I'm saying? They're not going to connect because it's not new and fresh. So we definitely need the sound of the music to advance and come up now. So I'm glad to see Dave Kelly back, you know, just to spin it back again. I would love to see Dave Kelly and Bobby Digital and, you know, Donovan Germain, and it seemed like some of the producers from back then that it's like, what happened to them? It's almost like they got locked out the business. Open the gate and let them in, yo. Let them come back and set the thing, and we have the readjustment, and then, you know, we can thrive.
I think you pointed out earlier, a lot of mentorship need to take place, and a lot of the younger artists need to take some form of like listen more. But then again, in the Jamaican culture too, you have some of the big man them when I know if you talk to the young man them, and then you can escalate real bad real quickly. But is I think a lot of mentorship need for go on in the sense that alright, cause cause what happened in a little period of time, within the government fighting dancehall was a problem. The access to internet now, access to the Pro Tool and the Fruit Loops and all these things, it kind of create this era where, alright, cause, Jamaican and the DJ and them, and all them people on radio and the dancehall, promoting them, all of them people, all of them need to take some form of blame for it. Because
you reach a point where
a young artist have to know him couldn't get into the business. Even though no money, you're not getting into the business. Even though enough team behind you, you're not getting into the business. You get what I'm saying? If you don't know a man, you're not getting into the business. So with the internet now, every man just start do their own little thing. And they end up, popular on the internet, which then turn around popular now in a some of the dancehall segment. But I think, like I said, with the producer them from them time, they come back in now. You have to, I believe them. You have to allow the youth them if you have them can experiment, but we still need to install the culture in them meds while them are doing them look experiment as well. So we're not doing too far off from what.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. So we need a bridge between the generations.
Yes.
Or else, like you said,
we get lost.
The future would look shaky because, the two generations have to be able to coexist to ensure the transition and the thing is passed on. It's like any civilizations. That's how it's supposed to run. And I think I'm wondering about what come to mind as we're talking about this is the music is one thing. But just generally speaking, you understand, it's like youths coming up, they can't raise themselves.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You watch Lion King, Simba, had his father to show him, this is how you be a king. You understand? But it's like some of the youths, them now just take over, and it's madness going on. You know what I mean? You can't.
We don't know guidance.
Yeah. How you think Shabba became Shabba? Why he DJ the way he DJs? Why does he dress the way he dresses? Come down to Buju and Wayne Wanda them. How you think they learn to perform like how they perform? You know what I'm saying? How you think Bounty had jammies. Buju them had Penthouse and, you know what I'm saying? Shabba them then learn from Josie Wales them and, the generations them before. Show them the ropes. So right now, that's what's needed, man.
100%. Because we don't want the music to get lost or forgotten and, soft. Yeah.
Wanted them. Because look, you used to be able to, even Romain Virgo, for example, I know there are others. I don't have the whole history inside my brain right now.
Yeah.
But I know he won one of them Rising Star or used to have Tasties and, you know what I mean?
Magnum Rising Star and something.
Yeah, artists that bust through that kind of a system, at least they're performing in front of a crowd, actually entertaining people, you know what I'm saying? And getting some type of guidance. Now, back, in the day, like I talk about street dance and sound system and thing, you got to be able to get some forwards in the dance. Find whatever rhythm the selector want put on. You used to have to entertain the crowd. Yeah, and that's how you got pushed into the studio to go voice tune.
You did good in that in around the sound system. People then forward, then you move on. But now it's like it's the opposite, right? Man get popular on the internet, never interact with the crowd. So he sang bad on the internet, everybody know him. So, and the first time go perform, him don't know how to perform. Them don't know because them never get that challenge there. But while I remember, growing up, I see artists, every man have to start from the level of like, you practice. You basically you use a performer before you actually become the artist in that set. 'Cause, you know, your start is DJing in front of people. That's your start. I remember me used to go stage show, and the man him call up a new man, and him come up on stage, and him DJ him thing, and if the people them like him. If everybody just stand up with them and fall, they must have time for go, whatever it is. But you know, man, you have to have the courage from that point on. Like right there, they say, yo, mate, you know, you have to go up on stage and go do it. And I think that help you in the long run. You know what I mean? If you're willing to learn your craft. You know what I mean? And I'm perfected.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So. Yeah, like, you know, used to have even stage show when big man up perform. Early out, you have them little you want to come out and prove themselves on the microphone. Yeah, you understand? But there used to always be whoever control the stage now. It's like, all right, you get 30 seconds. If you bust the place, you get the next 30 seconds.
Yeah.
If you bust it again, you might get the next 30 seconds. So if you come on in that first 30 seconds, you're not getting forward, well, get off the stage and go work on your thing, you know?
Yeah, so, you know, I just say, is hopefully in the future, going forward, like I said, Buju come out with him Buju style, you know what I mean? Because that's just always Buju. Buju always give it a two-way. And I hope that inspire other man to say, let's try this route and bring back that style, a dancehall. And I hope that song become very, very successful. So it can show people, say, all right, this part of dancehall is not dead. This is where the world want. You know what I mean? And it start up a new set of man to say, let me just try something different. And you know what I mean? And it go from there. So, you know, that's my hope for the music.
Yeah, man. Hope for the music. Same way, so I'm look upon it, brethren. I mean, I looked at it like that from when my ear said Buju I get released. I was like, yes, this is the savior. This is the savior, you know? And then, in addition, obviously, you know, I was listening to some of my old episodes them, and everybody will come on the show and you ask them, yo, who's doing it the right way, you know? Who you listen to, who you like, who I take it on for the future. And them answer like, you know, the Chronics them, the Coffee them. So, the Protege them. So, whoever them is, them and those, you know who you are. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Sorry, your name never get called yet. But, you know, there's a lot of crop of really good artists that...
Of course.
They're not like just singers. They can rap, they can sing. Enough of them can play an instrument. You know what I mean? Poetry. You understand? Sing J, all of that. Very musical. And so the reggae side of the thing, I think, is doing it, you know, very, very well.
I think 2018 maybe was one of the best year for reggae album. Dancehall / reggae album. That's why I don't like the Grammys, because them highlight that. Because last year we had Kabaka. It was last year Kabaka came out, right? Kabaka Pyramid.
Yeah.
So we had Kabaka Pyramid. We have Sasko. We had Popcorn. We had Protege. Marley. Come on. Like that's 5 albums where, to me, that was a good hit. That's 5 albums I listened to back to back, where I listened to and I said, this is well produced, well put together albums. And you know what I mean? And I wish the Grammy industry, you know my thoughts on Grammy already, because that to me, I think all of these people would have been, you know, at least nominated, you know, for potentially, you know, win Grammy. But like what them always do, them always put some people we don't know about. Chronic's album, I forgot Chronic's album last year. You know what I mean? It was a good year for our music, I think, you know, especially on album wise. Like, you know, reggae album typically never put, you have a couple good songs, but dancehall and reggae artists never do a good job really of putting albums together. Pretty good. And I think last year they did that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think.
Yeah, man. The Marleys definitely, I think, have been consistent. You know, especially Damien and Steven.
And that's it. Don't even mention your brethren there.
No, man. No.
So when me, when me Ziggy. Yeah, those,
Big up to the Zigster, man. Nobody talk about Ziggy, man.
Yeah, so So
but yeah, it's a lot of good albums, man. You know, I'm trying to remember Esco Levi and Bugle and Boy Etana had an album too that was nominated for the Grammy too. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Man like Chesedek, man like Luciano. You know, Sizzla always got albums coming out. You know what I'm saying?
What happened to Sizzla?
A lot of.
I said, what happened to Sizzla? Like, why? And Sizzla was like one of my maybe top 2, top 3 artists, and then I don't know, him just, fall off.
Yeah, Sizzla, I gotta tell you, Sizzla had one of the biggest busts in reggae music history. You know, like when Sizzla came out, there was like 4 albums right away, and all 4 of those albums, unbelievably classic material. You know, and he had the sound system thing locked down. I mean, dub plates. You know, it's like if you're not playing those new Sizzla, then I don't know what I do around sound them time there. Or even at that time, it was so wicked. You could all have a pre-release or a remix Sizzla and bust up the place with it. You know what I'm saying? So he had a very, very big impact. People were calling him like, yo, the next Bob Marley. And
I thought so too.
And then, you know what I'm saying, he kept it up for a few years until, the Pump Up the Pum Pum started. And, enough man with it harass just got trim after that. But God, them just give up. Give it to the Nasa Selassie again.
Yeah, Sizzla fell off bad, man. I love Sizzla. Like I listen to all of them album them. That's like old school album. The Real Thing is one of my favorite.
Yeah, The Real Thing was the comeback album of the century.
Yeah,
and
I don't mind him do the little, dancehall rugged tune, but him have to find the balance. I think he went too far and then
he went over the edge.
Over the edge, yeah. Yeah, but I hope Sizzla come back still because he's a very talented youth, you know what I mean?
Sizzla has reached a real iconic status at this point, and I've heard good reviews from like recent performances he's done as well, and he's doing so much of the like community work and like leadership, you know what I'm saying, even from like a political kind of level. Yeah, and then like globally, his profile is big. Like Africa, them love off Sizzla, man. Sizzla's like he's a god to enough man, all over the place. So
I've got a bridging from Ghana and even Nigeria, and them love Sizzla.
Yeah, man. And then the other thing about him that's like stands out is the number of albums, the sheer volume of production from Sizzla. Like his catalog is up there with people from the 70s and like, people like Freddie McGregor, Gregory Isaacs, Dennis Brown and Bob Marley and Burning Spear. You have to put Sizzla in that category as well. Like ridiculous amount of recording. Mm-hmm. He has albums coming out, when you don't even know, because they're being maybe released only in France or only released in, like some other country somewhere.
Okay. All right, so just to wrap it up, man, we're going an hour. But I just want to say, like I said, music transitioning. Wish it the best, and go back to. And I say go back, cause we understand change happen, but we just hope it, we find that balance where.
Yeah, man, it's evolution.
Yeah, evolution, cause like them say the same thing. Them say when dancehall start up, a lot of people, in an uproar over it. The dancehall we know back in the 80s, 90s, we have a lot of problem with it to now, it's standard. So I guess we are going through that transition period right now where, we have to kind of deal with it,
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Well, everybody involved just focus on quality, man. And I think that everything will fix itself in a way. The best stuff is gonna last, and the youths them that are kids now, they're gonna get older, and then some younger youths gonna come in, and they're gonna want something different, and then they're gonna have the friction between them.
So it's always a generational thing.
Yeah, man.
Man. So before we wrap it up, man, you have any insight what the next season is gonna be? 'Cause I think you say you're on a break right now, correct?
Yeah, man, on a break right now, so just spending time with the fams and taking care of business, doing some planning and recording for the upcoming season, which is going to be season 5 of Reggae Lover, which you can check out starting from the first Monday in January 2020, and then every Monday morning, if you're in this part of the world anyway, it's going to come out, and so you should have that for your commute, going to work, going to school, or wherever you got to go. And Agard and I, we're going to be just, adding some new wrinkles into the show. I say wrinkles. What is that? Right? So you got to tune in. We adding some more stuff to the show. I want to make sure that when you tune in, you're getting, it's really worth your while for the whole time that you're listening. And, not that we were full of fluff and filler before, but, just want to keep the quality and just have fun with it, man. Just keep doing what we're doing. So, big up to all the listeners and all the supporters. And, check out reggaelover.com for all information. That's the central hub right there where you can get all the links to listen, for social media, and anything else that you need.
All right, again, Mr. Wonda, appreciate you coming on the episode here. To bless the platform, and continue on your success here. Like you said on your last closing episode on your podcast, where it's a little group of us might need to start something where we all combine together, start a little fraternity, I don't know, something where we just continue to support each other and try to push this level, because we know podcasting been out there, but to some of our audience, especially Caribbean audience, is kind of new to them, and we see a lot more people getting into it, so which hopefully continue to grow in that direction.
Yeah, man. I think I'm sure it will continue to grow. There's new shows popping off as we speak.
And more shows are better. The thing with podcast, and the beautiful thing about podcasting is that it doesn't matter how many shows out there, when nobody's competing against each other. So
exactly.
Anybody have them voice out there. The only thing I wish that more of, not say Jamaican artists, but people more in the Jamaican entertainment, at least on my side, I wish they get more of the popular figures. You get what I'm saying? I wish more they get more into it. I don't know if you said it, yes, I think imagine somebody like even Rodney Price, who the way him talk and the story he might have, somebody in them can talk and tell their story. Because majority of the time, our story is told by other people. It's a documentary and them stuff. They always by third party. Somebody have a direct, influence on the person who is not from the culture.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Somebody born in New Zealand or something.
Yeah, who love it. And we know we're not them, because them grow up and them love it and them want to know. But it would be good if somebody who is actually from the culture, get into this lane. I think I follow Twins of Twins. They're trying to get into it sometime, which that would be great. Twins and the Curly Locks, them guys that would do the little stir it up story. Very funny stuff. Them would be a pretty people could get into it. So hopefully them get into it, too as well. But thanks again for coming on the episode, man. It's been great.
Well, thanks for having me, man. Finally, no, just kidding.
You know how to get it ready, man. I have to get it ready for you. Like you, I'm still learning as I go. And,
man. Did you guys hear the swaggy intro? Man.
Appreciate it.
Custom,
I didn't even say
custom.
Yeah, I'm sorry I didn't even say anything about it. Yeah, big up to my brethren Meds out there in New York, the Bronx. You know, him got that done for me, man. I appreciate it. Sound real good. Love it.
Yeah, man. Big up, yo. Big up to the whole New York family. Agard, you don't know. Big up yourself. Big up to Jennifer and, you know, the whole family.
Mad.
And, yeah. Give
All
thanks.
All right, people. This is another episode of Jamaican State of Mind podcast. You know, thanks for the support. Thanks for, you know, being engaged. Continue to get engaged, support, you know, share it to their friends, family. You know, we're always welcome for feedback, opinions. If you have any topic, anything you want us to, you know, to talk about, look into, you know, we're here for it. All right, so you can reach me again at, you know, Jamaican State of Mind. You can look up the hashtag. You'll find us, JSM Podcast, on all the platform. You know, JamaicanStateOfMind.com. You can find all the link. We're available everywhere. Don't forget to check out Reggae Lover Podcast and Instagram. Kahlil Wonda on Instagram as well, and Reggae Lover Pod on Twitter. Check out their podcast available everywhere podcasts are found. Definitely give it a check. Good podcast, talk about reggae music, uplift, all the positive vibes about reggae.